Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Texas real estate market, browsing some listings, seeing what's going on there, as well as diving into some of the data because it's kind of looking like the housing market is quite literally about to crash in Texas. We're seeing some of the highest inventory levels that we've seen for years, and homes are getting a ton of price reduction. So we're going to be diving into that data today and then giving my thoughts, my views on where Texas could be headed. I'm a real estate agent in Southern California, but I love housing data. I like seeing what's going on in other parts of the country as I'm always interested. Let's get straight into the video. So housing market in Texas. If we look at active listings, which is inventory of available homes for sale, this is the highest it's been in 8 years. April 2025, there are 123,000 homes on the market. And you can see when we had the inventory crunch in the entire country, there were only 32,000 homes on the market. So inventory has increased by 5x in a matter of 3 years. Now that is extreme. And you can see we are clearly way above pre-pandemic, pre-COVID crashes where inventory was hovering between 91 and 105,000 homes for sale, which arguably is a normal market. That's kind of what you're expecting in Texas, at least for majority of the time, post-financial crisis, pre-COVID. And then inventory dropped all the way down to, like we mentioned, low 30,000s. And now we're sitting at these levels, but I want to take a look at Redfin, see what the data is saying about demand, price cuts, what they're saying active listings are, because it's a little bit different. So if we look over at Redfin, number of homes for sale, you can see there are actually 167,000 homes on the market. So roughly 40,000 more than what the Federal Reserve's economic data is projecting or predicting right now. So that is a pretty big difference. I mean, 167,000 homes for sale. Sheesh. And if we look at the number of new homes hitting the market, 47,000 homes hit the market in the month of April alone. So this month's supply of inventory is absolutely going to skyrocket. If we look back to what inventory was in January of this year, where there were 6 months of available supply, if you're unaware what month's supply of inventory is, essentially it's demand. How many homes are getting into escrow versus how many homes are sitting on the market. So let's take a look at what the inventory was in January of 2025, because the month's supply of inventory was back at 6 months. So January, there were roughly 140,000 homes on the market, and now there's 27,000 more. So you're going to see month's supply of inventory increasing as there are significantly more homes available for sale. Again, it's a delayed data set. And just like the price, so median home value in Texas right now is $348,000. Essentially, it's done nothing since May of 2022. It went up to roughly $375, and now it's down a little bit. But what's concerning to me is that back in May of 2022, inventory was drastically lower than it is right now. So if you're unaware of how median sales price works, it is the most delayed statistic when it comes to what the housing market is doing, because it takes months, if not a year or more, for the median price to adjust to what is being sold. If there are a ton of sellers that are stubborn on their price and don't necessarily need to sell, then they're just going to keep their home overpriced until buyers, or until they finally decide, you know what, I actually need to sell this house. Let's cut the price. Let's start getting some more offers in. And buyers are not in a hurry. Buyer demand is very low. Number of homes sold has been dropping. It dropped 7% year over year. You can see it's in a steady downtrend. I mean, just a year ago, there was over almost 35,000 homes getting sold in a monthly period of time, and right now we're at 27,000. So the median price is absolutely going to drop. Now, is it going to be a crash? Is it going to be a 15% drop? We'll have to wait and see. But if inventory continues to increase at the levels that it is right now, Texas is going to go through a housing crash, at least in my opinion. I was talking to someone earlier who bought their house in 2022 for $400,000. I think it was in Austin somewhere. And they've interviewed 5 realtors in the area, all of which said your house is not going to sell for more than $350,000. Now, unfortunately, this person put down 10% on their house, so they're going to have to come out of pocket to sell. They can't afford the commissions, fees, everything else involved with selling your home just based off the equity alone. Unfortunately, for them, they're not in a position like most homeowners who bought in a rising market where they can use the equity toward a lot of their closing costs and still walk away with a lot of cash. So let's look at housing demand, see how many homes are selling for above list price. And this is again, another indicator of something is about to break in the housing market in Texas. So when inventory was at record lows, 32,000 homes available for sale, you can see almost 50% of homes were selling for above list price. And now that inventory has skyrocketed, only 14% of homes are selling for above list price. And I'm pretty sure this is going to drop even more. Number of homes with a price drop, 36%. And this line is probably going to keep going up because back in October of 2022, when mortgage rates increased and inventory started to increase in Texas, you had almost 40% of homes getting a price drop. So if we go look back to what inventory was doing in October of 2022, it'll give us an idea of how many homes are about to have price cuts this year. So October 2022, there were roughly 130,000 homes on the market. So inventory's up 30,000 since homes were getting 40% price cuts back in October of 2022. So what do you think is going to happen as inventory continues to increase? These price cuts are going to be more common, more regular in Texas. Sales to list price, this has basically been the same for the last 3 years. Homes on average are selling for 2.5% below list price. But again, this is a market right now where buyer demand is so low because there are so many homes available for sale. I mean, I was just browsing areas on Zillow just out of curiosity, and if you look at this, it's impossible to even find a house. There are so many homes for sale. This is Houston. This is actually unbelievable. In my market, I live in Orange County, we're still kind of in an inventory crunch where buyer demand is outpacing number of homes for sale. So it's completely different here. I mean, if we look at this one, let's look at an affordable house, $375,000. Just out of curiosity, see what this one's doing. It's been on the market for 56 days, no price reduction. So that kind of goes back to what I've been saying, where perhaps a lot of these sellers aren't in a position where they need to sell, at least yet. This one looks like a newer home for sale, $445,000, 23 days on Zillow, no price reduction. Most of the time, if you are on the market for 30 days, no price drop, you should be dropping your price because that home is overpriced. That's what the market is telling you. That's what is going on in most areas. 46 days on Zillow, no price drop. So I think a lot of these homes are probably going to be selling for 5, maybe even 10% below list price. Let's see if we can find one that has actually had a price reduction. So just to kind of see if anything is moving in these areas. Oh yeah, here we go. Price cut, $20,000 price drop, a little over a month ago. 111 days on Zillow, and likely to sell faster than 83% nearby. Clearly, this is incorrect. Only 900 views on Zillow in 110 days. This tells me that buyers aren't really looking. I mean, this looks like a pretty new home, $680,000, 3,500 square feet. This, in my mind, doesn't seem overpriced, but clearly there's just so few buyers in this market that homes are sitting. Here we go, 3 days on Zillow, 200 views, likely to sell faster than 92%. See if that actually happens. But I mean, this is just an absolute nightmare to even look for homes. So you can see a lot of these homes have been recently listed, which tells me inventory is probably going to keep increasing. So that's Houston. I mean, this is just a nightmare to even look for homes. How do you look for homes here? 16,000 homes just in this section. Jeez. I have never seen this before. I was not around during the financial crisis in 2008, so I didn't get to really see what happened. But this, I mean, look at Dallas. My goodness, there are 16,000 homes just in this little boundary. Wow. I haven't even looked at this before making this video. $450,000, 19 days on Zillow. This one looks pretty expensive. 9 hours on Zillow. So a lot of these homes have been recently listed, which is well, $40 million. I'm pretty sure that's not going to sell. Yeah, 1 year on Zillow. Wow. This is wild. This is almost like a reaction video. 22 days on Zillow. So there's a lot of homes that have been recently listed. Look at this. Look at this section. How do you even cope with this? If let's say let's filter. Let's go max 500,000. I don't know what the Dallas market is like. Okay, so that clears things up a little bit. Clearly there's not too many homes available in Dallas for under $500,000. This one's had a price cut, 76 days on Zillow. So even the lower priced homes are sitting on the market. Price cut, 10 days. A price cut after 10 days on the market. I kind of feel like Texas might be going through a little bit of a housing crash in the short term. Potentially, I don't know. Let's see, 450,000. 919 days on Zillow. Something must be wrong with this house. Maybe it's land or something. Something's wrong with that. 430,000. Nothing looks odd with this one. 87 days on Zillow. Wow. So that's kind of a summary of what's going on in Texas right now. My opinion, there's going to be, if it's not a housing crash, it's going to be a pretty significant market correction. A lot of the realtors I'm talking to who are over there actually agree with me. They're seeing a ton of inventory hitting their neighborhoods and hitting neighborhoods where they have listings as well. That's it for the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you like it, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.